If your baby's wanting to start their day at the crack of dawn, here are the top reasons that they're waking too early. And keep in mind that too early is very subjective. For me, anything before 6 a.m. is considered an early rise. Number one, sleep pressure. Things like baby being overtired can cause overnight wakings and early rising. Even though you would think that if you are that tired that you would go to sleep and stay asleep all night long, babies' little brains are just too immature to be able to do that. They get spikes of cortisol and it can be like giving them a Red Bull and saying, can you please go to sleep and stay asleep? And then on the other side of the tired spectrum is being undertired. If your baby has maxed out on day sleep, it may not leave enough sleep pressure in the tank for 4 or 5 a.m. Not only that, if they've gone to bed too early, then let's say they do 11 hours, that gets them to 5:30 a.m. Bing, they're wide awake. So having an age-appropriate schedule is really important so that you can distribute sleep pressure appropriately across the whole 24 hours. Then have a look at environment. Is it too hot? Is it too cold? Keep in mind that sort of between the hours of 3 and 5 a.m., environmentally it is at its coldest, but our bodies also drop a degree or so as part of their circadian rhythm. And so we want to dress our babies for the coldest parts of the morning. Is it too bright? Is it too noisy? Next up, we have genuine hunger. There is a big push for babies to wean overnight feeds really quickly. And whilst most babies have the capacity to sleep 10 to 12 hours overnight without a feed between 4 and 6 months, a lot don't and a lot can't. You need to have your whole 24-hour calories lined up to support dropping overnight feeds. So if you think you've weaned too early, then your baby might actually need a feed overnight. And one of the last culprits, and I always get nasty comments when I talk about this, is parents can accidentally reinforce the early rise, doing things like going in and getting them up and starting their day, bringing them onto the couch and watching TV. And we've all done it, we've all been there, but you going in to get them up can signal to their brain that it is time for them to start their day. And I totally appreciate that 4 and 5 a.m. is a horrible time to resettle, but sometimes it is worth, if you've got everything else lined up, it is worth keeping them in their cot until 6:30, 7 a.m. to remind them that this is time to go to sleep and stay asleep. Whether or not initially they go back to sleep doesn't matter, you just don't want to reinforce the early rise.